Explorers, it is Shanell, Miss Shanell here, and I'm here today, and we're going to do a ag career chat. So today we're bringing in Rod Wells from GROWMARK, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about what he does in agriculture. So I know you guys know what agriculture is, so drop in the chat, what is agriculture, okay? So we're going to be looking for your comments during this whole video. So let's meet Rod. Hey, Rod, what's up? How are you? Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, good to be with you, Shanell. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you. So a lot of our students really don't have any idea about different career opportunities in agriculture. So what we're doing here with the Agniter is bringing them awesome ag professionals like you to talk to them about career opportunities they've never heard of before. So who is Rod? Where do you work? Tell us who you are.
Yeah, so Rod Wells, I'm the Vice President of Corporate Strategy and Logistics at a company called GROWMARK. We're based in Bloomington, Illinois. I've been with GROWMARK, or one of their various affiliates, for 35 years now. So I started out in working in the field, and so working directly with farmers. And then I've moved throughout the organization, and today I'm based out of our Bloomington, Illinois office. And so I'm married. I have two grown children, and so yeah, it's been a wonderful career, and love agriculture.
Got it. So Bloomington, Illinois is not too far from Chicago for all of our students that's in Chicago, right?
Yeah, 2 hours south down Interstate 55. So yeah, it's an easy drive.
It's an easy drive. So for any of our students that's in the state of Illinois, Bloomington?
Yes, Bloomington.
Not too far from you. Okay, perfect. So GROWMARK, what is GROWMARK for our students who've never heard of GROWMARK?
Yeah, GROWMARK is an agricultural supply cooperative, and so it's a little bit different business structure than some companies. So some companies have corporate shareholders, they sell stock, they're publicly traded. GROWMARK is actually owned by the people that do business with us. And so by buying from us, they generate ownership in GROWMARK. And so we supply the products that farmers need to grow crops, like seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, even fuels. So we provide the fuels that farmers put in their tractors to plant and harvest their crops. And so we provide all those inputs so farmers can grow their crops.
Awesome. So you know what that means, students. No seeds, no food, no pesticides, no food, no gas for transportation. The food doesn't get to us. So Rod and GROWMARK are doing some really pretty important things over. Most of our students are in high school. So we want you to go back in your head and think about when you were in high school. What did you want to pursue when you were in high school, when you were a freshman or sophomore in high school? What did you want to do? Did you want to be like a baseball player, or did you always know that you wanted to work in ag?
Well, I always loved basketball, actually. So, but I'm 5'8" and vertically challenged, so I knew that wasn't going to be the career option for me. So actually, I got into the sports side of things, and I was a sports information director for our high school for a little while, and so I had always kind of seen myself maybe going into journalism or something like that, and being involved in sports. And I used to drive around the countryside, interestingly, and look at high school basketball players back before that was a big business. And so I wrote for my high school newspaper and wrote articles on all these basketball players that I scouted around the country. So originally, that's kind of where I thought I would go. But my dad actually worked for the same company that I do now. And so the more I progressed through high school, and I was in a rural community in Southern Illinois, that part started speaking to me. And I had worked for the company for a couple of summers. And so I just decided, hey, this looks like a good career. And, I'm involved in helping produce food and feeding and fueling the world. And that noble purpose spoke to me. And so as I got to the end of my high school career, then that's when I thought preparation. I did go to college, and so thought preparation wise for college, what I might want to do and focus there.
So in high school, originally, sports was your focus.
Yes. Very much
Sports
so.
is your focus. So what was it that clicked and inspired you to transition to ag? What happened in your head that you said, you know what, I think I want to give this world a try?
Yeah. Well, I started working at the local cooperative, the local FS cooperative, which is part of our GROWMARK network, in Southern Illinois, just to make some money during the summer to afford to do what I wanted to do. And I got to working with some of the people there and meeting some of the farmers. And that just spoke to me. They were producing food and fuel, and that noble purpose really spoke out to me. And my dad was a strong advocate for agriculture, and so being in that rural community, you were around a lot of kids from the farm, and so I just naturally kind of migrated to that and found it very interesting. And again, the noble purpose called to me.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you're saying exposure is key. So when you went and you worked and you saw it for yourself, even though your dad was telling you about it, it didn't click until you
Right.
saw it for yourself.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. So yeah, getting out there and getting that experience, and being involved in that business, immersing yourself in it, really is a good way to help define where you want to go in life. And I had numerous jobs throughout the different summers as I was growing up, and enjoyed a lot of them. But I just found agriculture was kind of a draw for me personally, and I like that aspect.
Awesome. Many of our students always say, when we talk to them in our career chats at high school, they always say, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
And would you say, when you don't know what you want to do, just exposing yourself would be a good thing to do?
Yeah. I would say, number one, don't force yourself into thinking that you know what you want to do, right? It's about different experiences. It's about getting out there and maybe working in different areas. And at some point something will click for you as you get those life experiences and put yourself out there and be open. And for sure, don't put pressure on yourself that you have to know exactly what you want to do the day you start high school, because generally most people don't. And I can give you examples throughout my career where even once I started working, I started working in a specific area of agriculture, and my career's kind of wound its way around. And at different times in my life, different opportunities presented them to me. And I always felt like I was learning. You're continually learning, and exposing yourself to new things. And hey, I'll try that for a little bit, and then something else pops up, and hey, I'll go that direction. So yeah, for sure, expose yourself, get out there, and something will happen and click, and you'll get it someday.
Exactly. So students, you hear that? It's okay if you don't know what you want to do, but it's always good to learn and expose yourself to different opportunities like this, like watching this chat. So now we know what inspired you to go into agriculture. So now that you got inspired and you decided to go into agriculture, what did you study in school? Like, what are the requirements that you needed to do what you're doing now?
Yeah, for what I'm doing now, so I went to the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, and I was actually in agricultural economics. And so it exposed you to a little bit of the business side of agriculture. There were some classes on the production side of agriculture, how to plant a crop, when to harvest a crop, all of the things associated with that. And so that was my path forward. I would tell you that we have jobs that report under my reporting structure, Shanell, that don't require a college education.
Wow.
We have a number of jobs, whether they be, in our warehouses, as warehousemen in those facilities. We have a big dispatch team that reports under my area, that is responsible just for moving freight and working with customers and truck drivers, trying to make those connections. And so, we have a whole host of jobs that require anything from a high school education all the way up to, we've got a few very high-end specialists in the arts that have master's degrees. So there's a whole host of options out there to those folks, depending on what kind of level of education they want.
That's awesome. And that's helpful for, so statistics say that a lot probably about 50% of students are uncertain if they want to go to college after high school. So it's always good if there is a sustainable career opportunity right after high school that they could, check out while they're trying to figure it out. So that's really good.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Perfect. What is a normal work day for you? Do you work at home? Do you work on the farm? What do
Yeah.
you do?
Yeah, I would love to have worked on a farm. Actually, my dad's family farmed many years ago back in the 60s, and they got out of it. And I always gave my dad a hard time when he was alive that you should have kept the farm, because that was, part of my, I guess I should have said, part of my going to this career as well was this is as close as I was going to be to being a farmer. And so I work in Bloomington out of our main office in Bloomington, and I'm in the office. I prefer to be in the office. I've really never had a job where I worked remote. We do have jobs where people work remote, work from home, travel. I do travel some, but I just find staying connected to my team is easier for me to be in here with my team. We develop relationships. We get to know each other. We get to know our families, and it's just so much easier for me to connect with people and give information, transfer and coach and train and all those types of things if I'm there with them. I've always felt that natural connectedness to being with people in the same workspace. But like I say, we do have a number of individuals that work from home. Some work a hybrid work environment. So, they may be in here a couple of 3 days a week and then work from home the remainder of those days. And so we've had to adapt to a little bit of everything over time, of course, with COVID and how that impacted the workplace. But I'm here most days, unless I'm on vacation or traveling for business. And so that's my preference personally.
Got it. So it seems like you mainly work in the office, but there's other opportunities to work in the field, to work hybrid, to work at home. So all different types of opportunities at GROWMARK.
Absolutely. We have people, and when I first started out in the business, I worked at a facility in rural Illinois down by Effingham. So Effingham's in southern Illinois. And so I was out in the field walking through crops, helping farmers make decisions, trying to identify weeds that they didn't want in their crops, helping them make management decisions on when to plant and harvest or what fertilizer rates to apply. So we have very high-tech equipment that we use to apply those products. And so I actually ran one of those rigs for a little while and really enjoyed it. You're out in the open, you're, moving from field to field, you're running that high-tech equipment that's all computerized. And, I enjoyed all of those experiences, and I would tell you all of those again, help build, my base of knowledge to help me get to where I am today. So, other than the college route, there's also that route of, getting out in those entry-level positions and gaining experience and learning that way. And that, there are people in our organization that have moved up just starting out in that regard.
That's always good. Room to grow is so important to our students to know if they, start working at a company, that there is room to elevate within their career. So that's amazing. Absolutely. That you guys have those kind of opportunities. So the students, they like to keep it real. They want to know like the honest truth about your job. So the students always want to know, what is your favorite thing about your job and your least favorite thing about your job?
Sure. Well, I mean, I really love my job, I will say. I mean, I have a lot of freedom and flexibility to schedule my days as I want. You asked a question, I didn't really answer it, about what a typical day's like. I don't know if there is a typical day for me. There are days where I'll spend, scheduled time where I'm out, at the end of September, I'm going to spend a week at some of our facilities out on the East Coast and just tour them and visit with our team members there and understand, what they're dealing with. I would say the variety is part of my favorite part of my job. I get to work with some great people. That would be another part. And I really like watching people grow in their jobs, helping people develop, seeing other people be successful. I would tell you that for me is really important. I like that aspect of my job. You know, I feel like I can contribute at a really high level to the overall strategy of our company, so that appeals to me. You know, from a don't like standpoint, you know, helping see people grow is like I said, something that I really enjoy. But you know, having to deal with maybe issues of performance or those types of things with employees and watching employees struggle probably is one of my least favorite aspects of the job as a leader. But you know, that's part of what you do as a leader. Sometimes our customers can be a little bit demanding, and when they get, you know, what may be a little bit unreasonable in some people's view, you know, having those tough conversations with our customers to, you know, say, hey, this isn't going to work, but here's an alternative. Those have never been my favorite thing to do, but it's part of the job and you do it right. So that, you know, I would say those types of things, but I dearly love the people that I work with. They're my second family, and you know, it's really fun.
That's good. So it seems like you essentially you love mostly everything about your job, but the things that you don't love is that when you want to see your whole team be successful, and you don't love when that doesn't happen. And who doesn't dislike, you know, dealing with, you know, difficult customers? But it's a part of every job, it's a part of every industry. So students, work on your conflict resolution skills, because you're going to need it for no matter what career you go into.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. That's not bad at all. Our students, their number one questions to the professional is about pay. You know, they always, our students, they know that these TikTokers are making millions of dollars doing TikTok. So they're looking for a salary in between, you know, the average pay and being a millionaire TikToker pay.
Right.
And so they want to know, is there sustainable pay in ag? In your career in ag, are you satisfied with your pay, and is there room to grow? That was a lot, but
sure. Yeah. So yes, I am satisfied. I would say when I got out of high school and just first started, I wasn't satisfied by any stretch of the imagination. But I had a goal in mind of where I thought, you know, hey, if I could only make this money, and it wasn't $1 million, it was somewhat less than that. But I think if I could ever make that amount of money, my life's problems would be solved and I would be totally happy. And, you know, as the years progress and I've gained experience, I've been able to beat that goal. But, you know, I would tell you that I was as happy, you know, mid-career as what I am today. And, you know, people always find a way to spend the money they make. And,
that's true.
but there's options for us from if the company's successful, we have bonus programs that can help even get our pay up even higher. One of the things that I really like about our company is we have what is called a defined benefit program that the company pays 100% of. And so when I retire, that program, that pension program, if you will pay me over half of my current salary, all the way up to the point until I pass away, until I die. And so that's a really nice safety net that not all companies have, but our company still has. And so, you know, then if you're able to save a little on top of that, you can live a nice retirement. But, you know, we have, the way we're structured, we have what we call career ladders in certain endeavors. And so I'll give you an example. My dispatch team have a career ladder there of 3 levels. And so you can come in as an entry level, and then based on your, you know, job performance, based on the knowledge that you accumulate, based on your years of service, you can move up 2 more times within that same job and have a pay increase every time. And so I would say, you know, there's probably not many millionaires working or people making $1 million at GROWMARK, but you know, it's entirely possible for a good solid performer to make between, I would, you know, in the hundreds anyway, low hundreds. So
sustainable. That's a good student.
It is.
That's a sustainable pay. That's a great pay. especially in comparison to the average pay for most Americans is between $48,000 and $50,000 a year. So that's way above the average pay. So that's really good. It's not a millionaire TikToker, which you can work at GROWMARK and be a millionaire TikToker.
You could.
But
I don't know as many people would want to see anything I'm doing on TikTok, but I'm sure some of the students have ideas and skills that I don't that would make them capable of that.
For sure. You still have time, Rod, to be that millionaire TikToker. Hopefully we both do. I'd love to give that a try myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, great. So final question. So our students are in high school. So like the average age is 16 years old. So if you could go back to your 16-year-old self, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Oh, wow. I would say it's hard sometimes, but be patient. It's cliche, work hard. Once you set yourself on a career path, immerse yourself in that, learn all you can. As simple as it sounds, show up every day and give it your best. And it's sad that those kind of people are really getting harder and harder to find. People that will put in the effort, that show interest in the job, show interest in the career. But those are skill sets and talents. We'll train you, right? Once you come work for us, we'll train you on the things you need to know specific to do any job here. You bring a positive attitude, wins every time. You bring a willingness and openness to learn and immerse yourself in the job, give forth a solid effort. And you don't need to be a rocket scientist. I thought I needed to be probably fully prepared to hit the ground running when I started my first job. And I found out as much as I learned in school, I tossed a lot of that out the window, and they trained me what they wanted me to know and how they wanted me to, conduct myself. They provided that for me. And so I was open to that. And you don't need to know everything, but again, bring that open mindset, bring that hard work effort, come to work every day, willing to put yourself out there, and good things will eventually happen.
That's good. That's a good last question. So positive mindset, knowing that it's okay if you don't know everything, and a good work ethic will help you get to wherever you need to be.
Absolutely. That's my firm belief. People ask me once in a while, hey, how do you apply what you learned in college to the job you do today? And I will tell you that the job I have today, I didn't take one college course to train me for the job I have today. I've accumulated experiences over a 35-year career that allow me to do the job I do today. I try to get along with people. I work with people. I show interest in people. I try to bring a good attitude every day to work, and those are the things that you don't get taught, that you bring yourself, that help put you in a position for long-term success.
That's good. That's good. Well, Ag Explorers, this was a good chat today. We got a chance to meet Rod from, where is Rod from? You guys, I always ask you guys to be active listeners. So drop in the comments, where does Rod work? So we met Rod today, and we hope that it ignited, get it, the Igniter. We hope that it ignited your interest in job opportunities in agriculture. So we will actually put some information about Rod and his company that he works for on our social media, so you guys can follow up and find out more information about GROWMARK. I gave you guys the answer about GROWMARK and Rod and what he does. So thank you so much, Rod, for joining us for this chat. We really enjoy learning about you and GROWMARK and everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good talking to you.
Bye, guys.